And good evening, everybody. So, as everybody knows, people don't know, but I'm into the Vulcan. Okay. And with your normal Airfix 1 in 72 instruction book, you also get the paint guide. Now, this particular video is more concentrated on the painting scheme, okay, because you've just seen I've built it, I've masked it off, and then when I've come to have a look at all the panel line detail, where you're going to put your masking tape is absolutely cock on. I'll just offer that up to the camera. So there's that many lines across here, and all your references, and it'd be quite easy to get some masking tape and follow that line and one thing another. The only problem that I've got with that is obviously, I'm not the kind of painter that would ordinarily paint it all grey, mask off the grey, fill it all in with masking tape and bits of paper and what have you, and then paint the green and say job done. I'm the kind of painter that would ordinarily sort of mask off, paint the grey, paint all the greys, then mask it off, and then remask it where I've painted the grey and paint the green, because I don't want too many layers of paint on this particular aircraft, even though I use MRP, and MRP is literally like water, as James has found out this week. And James is going to come on in a bit and have a chat with us, but he's just in the green room at the moment. So I'm on to Sean at SGS Models, and I'm like, Sean, come on, mate, bail me out. What you got? And he says, yes, I have, Mark. I've got just the things. So up here, because my bench, it's not a mess, but it's about as organised as what I can get. So what Sean has got me, what Sean has sourced me is this, and it's the TopNotch model masks and accessories detailed layout instructions, and you can probably see there, where's my pen? I did have a pen a minute ago. You can probably see there the Vulcan wrap 1 in 144, and the actual dot there is in 1 in 72, but you can see there that it does say wrap. Okay, and the particular reason that it says wrap is because when I wanted only the top color version, because I am doing a kind of a black book mock-up type of thing, it weren't available. So I've had to spend another couple of quid and get the 1 in 72 wrap set, which also does these two boxes, which I'll cover in a second. And they are for the bottom part. Now, the reason that it's taken so long for me to even contemplate starting painting is very, very simple. Obviously, with the mask set, which is these two that I'm going to use, I didn't know whether I had to paint the grey first and then put the mask set over the grey, or paint the green first and did the masks sort of like cover the green. And it's not until I've actually got the instruction book, even though I did look on Google, which it was, it does say on the TopNotch www that it's best to download the instructions. So I did that thinking this is going to tell me what I can do, because it's Sunday today, and I could have literally started doing this last Sunday. So I've had to wait a week just to get an indication on whether I'm painting grey or whether I'm painting green. So I downloaded the app, like I've said. It doesn't tell you. I've had to wait for the instruction book to come, and I'm not sure if you can see. I'm going to point just one or two out because it's not a very high spec camera that I use. It's only I think it's a 2, but you can see on the grey there are little yellow numbers I'm pretty sure that you can sort of suss them out. Even if you can't read the numbers, you can sort of guess. And from that, I can see, for example, that this one here, that says number 13. Okay, so I know that that mask is number 13, which obviously suggests to me that you paint the grey first. Now, the grey on this bird is a lot darker straight away off the bat than that grey. Okay, so before I even think about which grey I'm going to use, because the belly side has actually been painted with a dark sea grey. You can see where I'm up to with that, and it's all masked off because that leading edge there is included. I don't know why that's there. It is included right in with the camo scheme. So I've masked all that off so that you can see that leading edge for when I do the camo under there. So I've been talking to James and Paul all week and saying, you know, I've got to wait and one thing or another. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to paint the green, paint the grey. What shall I do? And obviously the overwhelming thing was, let's wait. Let's wait, Mark, and see what happens. Okay, so like I said, my actual mask set, this mask set came on Friday and today's Sunday, and I've still not even attempted it because I'm not an ultra anal methodical builder, but I'd rather sort of like measure twice, cut once, if that makes sense in the modeling sense, and make sure it's absolutely cock on before I start and do something, because obviously I've invested a little bit of cash into this, and the last thing I want to be doing is making a mistake at this point. Okay. But straight away, I'm thrown with the different greys, because that's I know I've got a light on. Let me turn my light off. I've got a medium sea grey, and I've got a dark sea grey. That's the natural light that's shining on that. That's the medium sea grey, and that's the dark sea grey. Medium sea grey 165. You probably can't see that, but I have got the MRP medium sea grey, and it does say it's a 637, and that is also a 637. So I know that I've got the right paint for it. And I also know that I've got the 641, which is the dark green. That's that one, 641. So I have got the correct paints for it. But if I looked at this one and said that's definitely a dark sea grey, then I've got to start and ask the question, haven't I? Have I got a dark sea grey? Well, as it happens, I have. I've got a full bottle of 638, which is the MRP version. And looking at that one, I think I'm going to go with the dark, you know. I think I'm going to go with the dark. But before I even think about putting any paint down, I will be doing some more referencing, even though I've spent literally a week referencing. You can see, I don't know if you can see on this one. So you've got one side, two side, lower side, upper side. And even people watching this on your phone, which a lot of people do, you can see that there's a massive difference in the two greys. That's obviously the medium, and that's the dark. Now, where do you start? You know, you want it to be right. I ain't got a chuffing clue, but you do want it to be right. So the whole reason that I bought this masking set was basically to stop me having to sort of like mask it, fill all that masking in, paint the gaps, take all that masking off, let the paint dry, remask everything that I've painted to show bare plastic to see, you know, which where I've painted one thing or another. and you're having to do it twice. You are having to do it twice. Now, while I'm on, so I've got my phone, okay, and straight away I've typed in XM607 Vulcan. That's what you can see. And as deaf as it sounds, straight away, all the pictures that I can see, they're all in this light sea grey. The main one there, light sea grey, light sea grey, light sea grey, a licensable light sea grey. Let's just have a look here. So you can see, I don't know if that's going to catch it on me. I'm trying to get rid of glare. You can see, if you look at this picture here to my left-hand side, where's my finger? And compare the two, you can see that that is definitely a light sea grey across all the parts. Now, a lot of the pictures that, a lot of the references that I've got, that I've looked at, Operation Black Book in particular, because a lot of people go for XH558, don't they? That's like the most famous one. And actually, out of them all, I would have thought that this one, the 607, would have been the absolute most famous one. And as daft as it sounds, there aren't a lot of photos on Google depicting the 607 from back in the day. And the ones that are actually in black and white. And you're like, what? Are you absolutely kidding me? 607, but by the looks of it, I'm hoping that you can see. I'll just keep that glare off my phone. A lot of them, they're all in. It won't zoom in. Look, it won't focus. A lot of them are in light sea grey. So straight away, research done. Dark sea grey, back in the pot, so to speak. Where did I put that light sea grey? It'll be over here somewhere. And light sea grey looks like it's going to be the order of the day. Sorry, medium sea grey. I do apologise. Medium sea grey, 637 and 641 MRP. So on your medium sea grey, you're looking at a British Standard 637, which is World War II RAF onwards. MRP 112 for those who are interested. And the other one is the MRP 110. That's the green. Okay, so those two. There you go. You can hear that there's plenty in there. And that leads me back to this. So forget that for painting. That's painting sorted. Okay, I've got the two right colours. Now, let's talk about these top-notch masks. So they're a vinyl mask set. Okay, they're a vinyl mask set. And I'm going to bring one up to you. I want to get the correct one. Here we go. So it's like it's a vinyl mask, and obviously there's a bit of a rundown. I don't know what that is, but there's a bit of a rundown on the instructions saying, you know, you've got to be very careful with placement and one thing and another. I've not tried to peel any off yet, but I can see that that's obviously a laser line cut. So I'm guessing that, you know, it's gonna come off pretty slick. Now, one of the beauties of using MRP is not only is it dry literally instantaneously. When I put these vinyl masks on, I know that none of that paint will lift because of the quality and the properties of MRP. So I said to James, I said, right, obviously, you know, what I could do, forget that now. What I could do is I could literally paint all of the top surface in grey, let it dry overnight, and then find my corresponding masks and start putting them onto the corresponding areas. Once they're all down and burred down with a bit of pressure and a cotton bud and one thing or another, then that's literally giving me a green light then for the green paint. However, that's not how I paint. A lot of my aircraft that I've done are more in painting a bit of a model, like that, And then where the line is, I would go over these colours again with the colour of choice. So in this instance, let's just have a look. So for this sort of squiggle here, I will get my pencil and pencil that in up there, and I would go inside with the light, with the medium sea grey, and then with the airbrush pull distance to double the distance and give it a coat over the top. And that shows a lot of this work through, which is what I like. I mean, whether it's right or not, that's what I like to see. However, in order for me to do that, what I would literally have to do with the masks is try to fathom out where they go. But there's a little bit of a beauty about it, or so I thought. Now, in the TopNotch mask set, you do actually get a paper copy. You get a paper copy as well of the actual masks. And I thought, oh, that's my problem sorted, because what I can do is I can cut out, cut that out. Where's my tweezers? I can cut that out across there like this, right? Cut that out, then cut that out, put that to one side, and that's going to leave me a template. I'll be able to put the template on the wing, and obviously I can put me colour in. I'll show you what I mean, because I've done one already. So that, right, that is for that. And you can see what I mean. So I've cut it out as a jig, and then I've very, very carefully cut that out. And what that's going to let me do is that I can now paint all that in each individual piece with my medium sea grey, because that's what it is. And if I just show you, I've got to get it with the light correctly, because obviously I've got a light glaring. So that particular sort of like sweeping to the left and then sweeping to the right is that piece there, sweeping to the left. Now there is a join here for another piece, because in total that shape is like a squiggly H. Okay, and that's the left trunk of it. So the right trunk of it will go here. But I just wanted to see what it was going to be like with just one. So I thought, right, well, if I paint all that quite close in and then distance my airbrush and give it the top coat, let it dry. This is what I was talking to James about the other day. Let it dry overnight. Peel that off completely, and that will show a painted surface there. You're with me so far? Which replicates that shape. Then what I'll be able to do is get the mask, okay, which is that shape, which is that particular one, stick that over what I've painted, and that's going to protect the right colour. Plus, it's going to give me the right sort of tonal variation on what I personally like. However, and James is in the back wings and I can hear everything I'm saying, but I have muted his microphone because he's airbrushing. However, bit of a problem. Bit of a problem. That's the mask. That's the paper set that they give you. And if I just lay that down onto there, you can probably see, right, that there's a massive discrepancy in the sizes. James, nod your head if you can see. Yeah, you can. So basically, mate, so what I said, I'm looking at James now on my little green screen. So I've used that paper as the mask. Okay, and I would paint that. I'll just bring my wing back into shot for you. I would use that mask, the paper mask that's like that. That goes onto there. Paint it like I've said, and then cover it with that. And the problem is going to be is because the vinyl mask is literally so much bigger. I mean, if I put that top corner there, right? If I put that top corner there and this top corner to it, you can see how much, and it might not look like a lot. And not only is it bigger, but it's also a slightly different shape. I'm going to try and balance that as much as I can and lift it up to my camera. And you can see it's a slightly different shape as well. Okay. Now, I'll put that back up into that top left-hand corner. Look, right up there, touching. It's fell down again. But you can see it's not gonna work, James. Did you see that, mate? Nod or shake, nod or shake. Right, so that's the vinyl mask. Okay, and this is the paper cutout that I've used on this. So that, as you know, goes onto there like that. And I've already explained. And then when I come to use that vinyl mask, mate, to cover what I've painted on there, I don't know if you can see on your camera, but it's a country mile out, different shape completely. You can see down here, I bet I've got 8 or 9 mil difference there. So if I only paint that shape in there, and then come to overlay it with that mask, it's going to be an absolute country mile off. Oh, so frustrating, which basically means then that, and I'm doing it on camera as we speak, that is now in room 101, because that is just not going to work, mate. That's not going to work. So I'm back to square one. That's why that's all like that. Look, so I'm back to square one. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh yeah, I can see what Mark's trying to do, and that kind of makes sense, because I'd sort of like, want to do the same sort of thing. I'll tell you what I could do then. What I could do, James, is I could get my knife and run it along this edge here, right, and literally take that mask away, and then get a pair of scissors and cut that shape out and basically replicate what I've done with the paper to make sure that the mask fits. But again, I'm looking at, it might not be a lot to people who aren't in the know, who don't know or don't appreciate the slight microscopic differences. But even I can see that if I added the width of that line up and the width of that line up, you're looking at 1 millimeter. And 1 millimeter in paint, you might as well be looking at 1 mile, which means that I've got absolutely no choice but to paint it all grey, put the mask on, and then paint the green. Okay, so that is top notch. What I'm hoping for, so that's like half a review, if you will. 23 minutes, half a review on top notch decals. Have a look for them. I can't say now whether they're going to be any good, whether they're going to conform to all these sorts of ridges and breaks in shape and one thing and another. I can't say at this point. But this is going to be the first part of hopefully a long video that I'm going to put together. If I don't put it together as one, I'll just do it as two. Okay. But I won't publish them both separately. I'll do one. And as soon as that's uploaded, I'll say, here's part two. Okay. So that you've got a continual thing. As far as the build is concerned, definitely not going to talk about that. That's for a completely different video. This is all about these bad boys. They are a little bit crinkled up because they've been in my shed. This is all about these bad boys. This is your top-notch vinyl mask set for a 1-in-72 Airfix B.2 bomber. And again, that's the little logo there. I'll leave that up. Top-notch models, masks, and accessories. I have had a little flick through some of the website, and although it's limited, some of the stuff looks absolutely cracking. None of this, by the way, helps decide whether you're going to do it in one way or another. Download our free manual with step-by-step instructions and photos on how to use the masks from our website. Join our Facebook group, TopNotch Models and Masks Store, in a cool, dry place. Well, you can't get any cooler or drier than in my shed. So that's it. So the next time that you see this particular Vulcan, it will be all covered in a medium sea grey. I wasn't going to do it tonight because it's a school night. However, compressor's just been turned on. James is waiting in the wings for me to finish this video. And then we can just chat like we normally do. All right, but that's basically it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for stage 2. Once I've painted it grey, I'll get it all masked off with the vinyl masks, and then we'll see how we go from there. But for now, top-notch mask set. Let's leave it there, and I'll catch you next time. Where's my bloody mouse gone? It's up there. Cheers.